Today, we're going to talk about something that might make you a little queasy: the food we eat. You see, Elon Musk has been sounding the alarm bells, warning us that we're being heavily poisoned by the food industry. And let's face it, if there's anyone we should trust when it comes to dangerous environments, it's the guy trying to colonize Mars. Now, I know what you're thinking. What? Poisoned? But I thought all I had to worry about was eating my vegetables. No. We're talking about something much more insidious: the toxic sludge that big food is feeding us every day. Now, what's happening with our food? Do you remember the good old days when food was just food? When you could eat a piece of bread without wondering if it was filled with chemicals and preservatives? Buckle up, grab a snack, make sure it's not poison, and let's dive into the dark and dangerous world of our modern food system. The sugar conspiracy. Alright, let's talk sugar. Now, I know what you're thinking. Elon, sugar is the nectar of the gods. How could it possibly be bad for us? Well, let me tell you, sugar is basically the devil's dandruff. It's addictive, it's bad for your teeth, and can make you fat enough to launch your own spaceship. And yet, big food keeps shoving it down our throats like it's no big deal. Why? Because they're in on the sugar conspiracy. That's why. You see, sugar is cheap, it's addictive, and it keeps us coming back for more. And that's exactly what big food wants. They want to keep us hooked on their sugary snacks and sodas so they can make a killing off of our addiction. It's like the food equivalent of Breaking Bad, but instead of meth, it's sugar. But it's not just the addiction factor that's the problem. Sugar also causes a whole host of health issues, from obesity to diabetes to heart disease. It's like a ticking time bomb in your body, just waiting to go off. And yet, big food keeps putting it in everything, from your morning cereal to your afternoon snack to your evening dessert. It's like they're trying to kill us with kindness, one sugary treat at a time. And the worst part is, they know exactly what they're doing. They know that sugar is bad for us, but they don't care. They're more interested in making a profit than in protecting our health. It's like they're the Joker from Batman, but instead of chaos, it's sugar. So, what can we do about it, my friends? Well, the first step is to be aware of the sugar conspiracy. We need to know that big food is not our friend, and that they're more interested in making a profit than in our health. We need to read labels, ask questions, and be informed consumers. But we also need to take action. We need to demand better from our food system and from our politicians and regulators. We need to say enough is enough and stand up for our health and well-being. And maybe, just maybe, we can break the sugar conspiracy once and for all. Additives and preservatives. Now, sugar isn't the only thing we need to worry about, my friends. Oh no, there's a whole host of other crap that big food puts in our food just to make it last longer on the shelves. I'm talking about additives and preservatives, the unsung villains of the food industry. You see, additives and preservatives are basically the food equivalent of embalming fluid. They're designed to keep our food looking fresh and tasty long after it should have been thrown in the trash. But the problem is, these chemicals are often untested, and we have no idea what kind of impact they're having on our health. Take, for example, BHA and BHT, two common preservatives found in everything from cereal to gum to potato chips. These chemicals have been linked to cancer, but they're still allowed in our food. It's like we're living in an episode of The Twilight Zone, where everything that's bad for us is somehow good. And let's not forget about the artificial colors and flavors, my friends. These chemicals are designed to make our food look and taste better, but at what cost? Studies have shown that some of these additives can cause hyperactivity in children, and yet they're still allowed in our food. It's like we're living in a world where neon blue is a natural color for food. But perhaps the worst offender of all is MSG, a monosodium glutamate. This flavor enhancer is found in everything from soup to salad dressing to snack foods. And while it may make our food taste better, it can also cause headaches, nausea, and other health issues, like we're playing Russian roulette with our taste buds. So what can we do about these additives and preservatives? Well, for starters, we can read labels and avoid products with a laundry list of unpronounceable ingredients. We can also demand that our food is tested and regulated so we know exactly what we're putting into our bodies. And we can support local farmers and food producers who are more likely to use natural ingredients and avoid harmful chemicals. The corporate control of our food system. So, why is all this happening? Why is our food system so messed up? The answer, my friends, is simple: corporate greed. Big food companies don't care about our health, they care about profits. They want to sell us as much cheap, addictive, toxic sludge as possible, and they don't care about the consequences. The food industry is dominated by a few giant corporations who have an outsized influence on our diets. They're the ones who decide what products get made, how they're marketed, and how they're distributed. And the sad truth is, they're not always looking out for our best interests. For example, did you know that most of the meats in our supermarkets come from just a handful of companies? These companies are responsible for the inhumane treatment of animals, the destruction of our environment, and the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And yet, they continue to dominate the industry because they have the power and resources to do so. And let's not forget about the seed industry, my friends. The vast majority of our crops are grown from seeds owned by a handful of giant corporations. These companies have patented their seeds, which means farmers can't save and replant them like they used to. And if a farmer tries to grow a non-patented crop, they risk being sued by these corporations. It's like we're living in a world where corporations own the very building blocks of life. But perhaps the most insidious aspect of corporate control is the way they manipulate our food choices. They spend billions of dollars on advertising, convincing us to eat their junk food and sugary drinks, and they use their power to lobby against regulations and standards that would protect our health and the environment. So, what can we do about this, my friends? Well, we can start by supporting local food systems and small-scale farmers. We can vote with our dollars, choosing to buy products from companies that prioritize our health and the planet. And we can demand that our politicians take action to break up the monopolies and promote a more diverse and sustainable food system. The solution? Eat like a Martian. So, what can we do about all of this? Well, my friends, the solution is simple. Eat like a Martian. It is a simple, healthy diet that consists mostly of plant-based foods with a few treats thrown in for good measure. No sugar, no additives, no preservatives, no corporate greed, just good, clean, healthy food. We need to start growing our own food using sustainable practices like aquaponics and vertical farming. We need to eat more plant-based diets with a focus on nutrient-dense foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. And we need to reduce our reliance on processed foods and sugary drinks. Now, I know this might sound like a big ask, but the truth is, we're already seeing a movement towards these types of diets and food systems. People are starting to realize that the way we've been eating for the past few decades just isn't sustainable for our health or the planet. And who better to lead the charge than the same guy who's trying to get us to Mars? If we can figure out how to grow food in a harsh, inhospitable environment like Mars, we can certainly figure out how to do it here on Earth. So let's start eating like Martians, my friends. Let's embrace a more sustainable plant-based diet. Let's grow our own food, or support local farmers who prioritize the health of the planet and our bodies. And let's demand change from our politicians in the food industry so that we can create a food system that works for everyone, not just the corporate overlords. So there you have it, folks, the dark and dangerous world of our modern food system. It's time to wake up, stand up, and demand a better future. A future where we're not being poisoned by the food we eat. A future where we can all eat like Martians and live long, healthy lives. So go out there, buy some organic kale, and let's make the world a better place. Are you ready to join the fight against corporate control of our food system? Then make sure to hit that subscribe button and become a part of our mission to create a healthier, more sustainable world. Thanks for watching, and stay woke.